Trump White House turns up the heat on Cuba's communist regime, especially after the indictment of Raul Castro. Under Trump's Don Road doctrine, is the new Cuba on the horizon? Let's bring in Alina Fernandez, the daughter of Fidel Castro and niece of Raul Castro. She's also an anti-communist activist. Great to see you, Alina. Thank you so much for being here. So you had a front row seat to the early days of the regime run by your father, Fidel Castro, and of course your uncle, Raul Castro, before you fled Cuba. Can you explain what made you change, or realize rather, that the regime was punishing people for speaking out, and how did you become such a bold anti-communist voice?
Yes, front row seat, as you say, until I was almost 40 years old, and it caused me to be able to escape from there. I mean, it's too much of a long story. First, when you're a child, you have the feeling that you're uncomfortable, that something is wrong. And you start to grow from there, from that feeling, that emotion, that what's going around is not right.
And do you still have family in Cuba today that you speak to? Do you know what's happening there at this moment with the regime?
My family, since I became what they call a traitor or a worm, if you think differently, had me become the enemy. And that's one of the tragedies of the Cubans, that if you don't think alike, you are treated like the enemy.
By your own government, yeah. And since the communist takeover of Cuba, you know, President Trump has talked about ending the regime there. There have been a number of American presidents who've tried a mix of sanctions, military operations, normalization towards the regime. None of this has worked to bring freedom to the Cuban people.
Even help. They tried to help them.
Right.
Too.
What do you think will achieve real change, and what do you think needs to happen?
I'm convinced that a dictatorship, a regime like this gets established with a little help from the outside, and it's the same when it's going to implode. It needs a little push. The circumstance is so delicate. But what do you think at this point, because you were speaking about negotiating with the regime before in the before segment, and it's very difficult. They are very well established. They've been there for years. They've been playing around. This is the number 14 American president dealing with Cuba, and nothing is changing in there. What is the sense of defending such a state of things? It's amazing. Lives are so miserable. That's a good example, the picture you have there. They don't have electricity. They don't have food. They don't have anything. Children are not going to school. There is nothing to put on the table. Why are you still defending? You see, there are people that are still defending this situation 90 miles away from the richest country in the world.
Do you, based on what President Trump has said about Cuba and his different approach to these kinds of regimes around the world, especially when it comes to Venezuela and the capture and arrest of Nicolas Maduro, do you hear anything from him that gives you hope about the future of Cuba?
I do trust Marco Rubio's knowledge about the subject, very specific knowledge about the subject. It's the first time that Cubans have hope that something is going to change. We all wish it was going to be through negotiations, but to this point, it doesn't seem that's possible. That's why many points of pressure have been implied, and that's what I assume is their strategy.
So in terms of what we're seeing here in the United States, we've seen Democratic Socialist politicians who've been elected to public office introduce anti-capitalist policies, including New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Listen to this from earlier today.
When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards.
When I hear him say we'll work to transfer ownership, my skin crawls. What is your response?
Yeah, that's called expropriation, and we had that in Cuba at the beginning of the revolution too. And I hope there are other ways to deal with negligent management and ownership. That's why we live in a democracy and in a state of rights.
Would you have a warning for people who think that sounds really nice, and that, you know, the government should come in and punish those they see as private property holders who aren't doing what they think they should?
Well, that's little steps get to bigger steps, and it's dangerous. But we tend not to learn about other people's history.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that there'll be change given the recent indictment of Raul Castro in Cuba by the Department of Justice? Do you think that we'll be able to get him back to the United States for trial?
Everything is speculation at this point. It's an indictment on a person that is going to be soon 95 years old. So is that doable? It's not. But at least it shows us a step through not impunity for people that have acted like this.
Right. People who kill Americans, right? Not only just hurt their own people, but kill Americans as well, no matter how many years have gone by. One final question for you. For years, we've heard rumors that Justin Trudeau, the former Prime Minister of Canada, could be your half-brother. What do you think of that?
The only thing I can say is that his mother used to visit the country very often.
Well, that may be a tell then. I guess that's a half answer.
Yeah.
Do you plan to call him and maybe find out?
No, I won't do it. If he wants, he's going to be welcome, but I won't. I think he keeps that to himself, and you have to respect that.
Yes. All right. Well, Alina Fernandez, wonderful to talk to you. And we, of course, will be watching what happens next in Cuba. Thank you for joining us tonight. Great to see you.
Thank you, because I'm really grateful to anyone that speaks about Cuba at this point and in this moment. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.